save us.
We do not ask for your poor or your hungry.
We do not want your tired and sick.
It is your corrupt we claim.
It is your evil that will be sought by us.
With every breath, we shall hunt them down.
Each day, we will spill their blood till it rains down from the skies.
Do not kill, do not rape, do not steal. These are principles which every man of every faith can embrace.
These are not polite suggestions. These are codes of behavior. And those of you that ignore them will pay the dearest cost.
There are varying degrees of evil. We urge you lesser forms of filth, not to push the bounds and cross over into true corruption, into our domain.
But if you do, one day you will look behind you and you will see we three. And on that day, you will reap it.
And we will send you to whatever God you wish.
And shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee. Power hath descended forth from thy hand. Flock may swiftly carry out thy command. So we shall flow river forth to thee, and teeming with souls shall it ever be.
In nomine Patri,
Et Filii, Spiritus Sancti.
And shepherds we shall be, for thee, my Lord, for thee. Power hath descended forth from thy hand.
So I guess I'd become what they wanted me to be. A killer. Some rent-a-clown with a gun who puts holes in other bad guys. Well, that's what they had paid for, so in the end, that's what they got. Say what you want about Americans, but we understand capitalism. You buy yourself a product and you get what you pay for. And these chumps had paid for some angry gringo without the sensibilities to know right from wrong. Here I was, about to execute this poor bastard like some dime store angel of death. And I realized they were correct. I wouldn't know right from wrong if one of them was helping the poor and the other was banging my sister. I'd arrived in Sao Paulo a few weeks before. I was working a protection detail for the kind of people who need protection in a town like this. And what kind of town was this? One where I didn't speak the language and they didn't water down their drinks. So for now, we seemed to get along just fine. Of course, that was about to change. That didn't mean much. There was always something rotten in the air. The family we were protecting were local celebrities, rich parasites with delusions of humanity. The kind of people who end up in glossy magazines or body bags, depending on how their luck runs. I was mostly working for Rodrigo Branco, a local businessman. Built things, did some charity, had things named after him, won awards, owned things, people. One of the trophies he had won was his wife, Fabiana. She was hot and wanted to be dangerous. Some good genes trying to fight their way out of a cesspit. She'd married well and was now at leisure to regret her good fortune. They got along as well as any rich workaholic and his younger airhead wife tend to get along. They mostly ignored each other. She spent a lot of time with his cokehead younger brother, Marcello. He was a good-time guy if your idea of a good time was an expensive suit, a bottle of champagne, and nothing between the ears. The middle brother, Victor, had just walked in. He was a local politician. Guy was smoother than an oil slick on an iceberg and about as toxic. The rest of the crowd, I didn't know, but I could imagine the types. People who know if they drink enough, they won't have to feel guilty about their good fortune. Suddenly, things turned real ugly. Felt like our hangovers arrived right on cue. Things had gone from fine to fucked up in about a second, and now there were two idiots at the wheel. It wasn't my own safety I was concerned about, trophy wife or not. I'd said I would protect the girl. I hoped I hadn't lost my edge, along with everything else. It was time to choose, a nasty fall or a bullet to the head. That was the boss lady, only this time she wasn't calling for more vodka in her Cosmo. I didn't need a translator to know what these were. She was out on one of the balconies, and I hoped not about to be thrown off it. It might have been stupidity or drunkenness, or maybe both. But before I knew it, I was back taking insane risks, trying to save fallen women. I imagined the elevator doors opening to a firing squad of muzzles. As far as I could see it, the one thing my plan had going was that no one else would be stupid enough to pull this move.
Where's Bronco?
I had to keep moving. I didn't want to fuck this up more than I already had. It looked like they were taking him out through the basement. Maybe I still had a shot. Rodrigo was too rich a prize for them to throw away. Sure, I'd have to work hard to get him back, but I knew the bad guys would want the boss alive, almost as much as I did. The control box was on the wall to the left of the gate. The great thing about being famous as well as rich is the bad guys know who to kidnap. Another parking lot rattling with gunfire. Was I too late?
Mr. Bronco! Vai se fuder, filho da puta!
Back home, it was time for some R&R, the only way I knew how. And with that, I guess I was ready for bed. A couple of days later, it was back to work, ferrying the boss's broad and his dipshit of a brother out for the night so they could recover from their brush with mortality. Then again, what did I expect? These were the kind of people who went to nightclubs in helicopters. Fabiana had brought her sister along, presumably so she could show off just how rich and empty her life was. And boy, was she about to learn the meaning of rich and empty. This kind of place made me want to puke. I needed a real drink to deal with the electronic music and the robotic people. Thank God he had left. A minute more of his drivel and I would have had to put a bullet in him myself. It soon turned out I wasn't the only one. I hadn't seen it coming, but that was no surprise. It's hard to keep your eye on the ball through the bottom of a glass. I just hoped I could get to Fabiana and Giovanna in time. The doors had been chained shut. I didn't need my Portuguese for Beginners phrase book to work out what was going on. The guy making the noise was the boss. He was sending them around to cut me off from the other side. And sure enough, a few seconds later, I had some company on the dance floor. It was your typical trendy hellhole, a playground for the overpreened and undernourished. Sushi and house music and vodka, a place you don't get through the door unless you're rich, beautiful, or, in this instance, it seemed, a heavily armed psychopath. Poor bastard's name was Claudio. I found out later he was a pretty big-shot soccer player for the Galatians, some nearly superstar just back from Europe. The usual. Scored goals, scored girls. The only box he'd be getting into now was the one he'd be leaving in. I remembered there was a patio upstairs. About the only thing I'd managed to clock in that place was the smoking area.
Paulo's favorite bodyguard. How's it going, bro? What? Jesus, Max. Hey, I'm on my way. No, stay in the chopper. On your way now. Come on.
Son of a bitch!
Vai se fuder! Juliana! Ah, caralho! A gente vai morrer! Aqui é do comando sombra, porra!
It looked loud and expensive enough to be Fabiana's. Her fashion sense didn't leave a whole lot of room for imagination, let alone food. The girl sure knew how to draw the eye, and maybe that was the problem. But at least I was heading in the right direction.
Chega! Que porra você tá fazendo? Como assim você tá com algum problema?
Whatever the hell they were arguing about, it was time for me to add my 2 cents.
Estamos aqui por causa das meninas do Branco. Ele não tem nada a ver com isso. Só Deus.
were still alive, at least. This crew was starting to look a lot like friends of the gatecrashers at last week's party. These guys had some real issues with the Broncos. They were back to finish the job. I figured it was time to start doing mine. This wasn't the time to be second-guessing myself. I had to hurry or I'd lose them.
Elevador! Entra! Entra, caralho!
Cala a boca, sua vadia!
They were headed for the helicopter pad. I had to get to the roof before Giovanna and Fabiana left on a one-way flight. I knew this was going to be a bad idea, but in the continued absence of any good ones, I decided to go with it. What a view. I guess my time in Sao Paulo wasn't quite the paid holiday in the sun I'd been promised. At least I was getting shot at by a middle-class psychopath. These guys weren't messing around. This place was like Baghdad with G-strings. A couple of more seconds and I'd have given some poor street cleaner a crappy start to his day. Now, I had a ride to catch.
Max? You were after the girls, not you.
Eu não disse que eu ia te pegar. Você foi fácil demais.
There was a goddamn army of these goons. Clearly, somebody wanted these girls bad. Or maybe they just assumed the Broncos security team consisted of more than a drunk American has-been and a Brazilian never-was who should have paid more attention in flying school. Either way, I needed to find Giovanna before they did.
Isso está ficando vergonhoso! Ela não vale a pena. Temos a mulher de branco. Foi por isso que...
Vai virar preso!
Isso está ficando vergonhoso! Ela não vale a pena. Temos a mulher de branco. por isso que viemos aqui.
O Serrano vai cortar nosso saco se ela escapar!
Vou gostar de matar essa puta!
Tem muita coisa que eu gostaria de fazer com ela! Tá ficando vergonhoso!
Ela não vale a pena. Temos a mulher do branco. Foi por isso que viemos aqui.
Atira nele, atira nele!
Você sabe do que você está falando?
Você não luta que nem homem! Ai, caralho! Alguém atira nesse cara! Não, mano! Tá doendo, caralho! Vamos, galera!
isso que viemos aqui.
Continue atirando nele!
Cuzão do caralho! Tá doendo pra cá!
Atira nele, porra!
Vai agora, vai, caralho!
Mata ele agora! Filho da puta me pegou! Vou passar, bola nele, hein? Bora, cobertura, vai! Favela, caralho!
Isso está ficando vergonhoso!
Cobertura, porra! Droga! Que é essa? Cobertura, porra! Vai pegar aqueles cuzões! Tira, porra! Tira, porra!
Isso está ficando vergonhoso!